Everybody, fragrances to wear on a boat. And I know this sounds like a random video, but I just came back from a boat with some great company and it was a cold December night. So I'm going to suggest some fragrances if you're going on any nighttime boat excursions. And then I'll do some daytime ones as well. So one that I was thinking of, or one that I think would be amazing, is Prada Black. So this fragrance, first of all, has a really nice scent trail. It smells way better in the air than it does up close on the skin, in my opinion. And it's kind of like this powdery vanilla, but mixed with a tire kind of vibe. And I know when you think that, you're like, a rubbery tire, do I want to smell like that? But this fragrance pulls a ton of compliments. Like, this is a great date night fragrance, but I think that when it's cold outside and you're all bundled up and you've got Prada Black on, it's definitely gonna cut through the cold weather so people can still smell you, and it's a really nice, cozy scent. So Prada Black will not be leaving your clothes, not be leaving your skin if you're on a boat, and I think it smells fantastic, especially if you got like hot chocolate or a coffee or something like that to keep you warm. And I'll leave all the links in the description. Okay, so Prada Black, and I'm also gonna go with, come on now, Mercedes-Benz Club Black. I really do love this fragrance. I wore it a couple days ago and I don't see myself ever getting over this scent. I mean, it was 60 bucks, you know, for a full-size bottle. So definitely worth the price. And on top of that, it just smells like vanilla and benzoin, which is pretty much good vanilla versus evil vanilla all in one. Think of like anti-heroes, like Jack Sparrow, where like you're not supposed to root for them because in the movie they're kind of like the villains, but everybody loves them because they have good qualities, you know? Like, I guess that would be the perfect way to describe this. Do I think it smells like Jack Sparrow? No, it doesn't smell like rum or anything, but it's the perfect balance between naughty and nice. So Mercedes-Benz Club Black, also a great scent trail, long lasting, amazing projection. I easily get over, I was gonna say 12, no, easily get over 8 hours with this fragrance. Prada Black is one that gets around 8 hours as well. I think in terms of longevity, this has lasted longer on me. Personally, I think it latches to my skin a bit better than Prada Black. Okay, another good one. I mean, I talk about it a lot, but I mean, it's perfect. It's literally perfect. Spice Bomb Extreme by Viktor and Rolf. This fragrance has never failed every single time I was outside and it was cold. And I honestly think that if you're on a boat and it's freezing outside and you've got Spice Bomb Extreme by Viktor and Rolf, you're gonna warm everybody else up around you. This is a very sexy, spicy, sweet fragrance. It's tobacco vanilla with some cumin in the opening, and it's a compliment magnet as well. On top of that, look at the bottle. It's super sick. Who wouldn't want to have this on their vanity or on their dresser? Like, when people come into your room, they're like, what the hell is that? And you're like, oh, it's my fragrance, Spice Bomb Extreme. And they're gonna smell it and they'll be even more in love with this fragrance. So from the packaging to the scent, this is an A+ fragrance. And this also easily, I'm gonna say, I get around 9 hours with this fragrance. But I can spray around 7 times if I want to, but that's when I'm really out. Like, I never wear this if I'm going to anything indoors. It's always if I'm hanging out outside at nighttime and it's cold. Okay, so those are a few of the cold ones. And I think that usually when people, if they're gonna click this video, they're gonna assume the fresh daytime fragrances. So I am going to suggest Oceania by Roja Parfums. Look at the name, look at the bottle. And even if you wear this at nighttime, I think it'll be totally fine, because this is one of those fresh fragrances that does well regardless of the season, regardless of, yeah, how, like, the temperature, anything like that. It easily pushes over 8 hours when it's warm outside, but when it's cooler, I would say it gets around maybe 6 to 7, which is pretty solid for a fresh fragrance. Oh gosh, I really love this. It's kind of like Sprite. Think of Sprite and the sea in a bottle, and it's Oceania by Roja Parfums. This one's very unisex. If I didn't mention, this one's marketed to men, unisex. All of them, to be honest, that I mentioned are all marketed to men. I just realized I kept saying honest, but they're marketed to men. However, I find them very easily wearable on anybody, because skin chemistry on all those really matters. And yeah, when I've worn them, it doesn't skew too masculine. Like there have been fragrances that I've worn that are a bit too masculine for me that I don't think are considered unisex, but those are men's fragrances that women can easily pull off, or you can spray it on your clothes if you're worried about skin chemistry. Okay, so another one, I'm really tempted to pull for this other Roja parfum. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it because I love it. Oligarch. This is pretty much for the person that owns the boat, the yacht, whatever it is. This is a great fresh fragrance. There's a little bit of some green touches to it. So it's not just a completely sour, citrusy, fresh and clean fragrance, but this just smells rich. Like when I've smelled this fragrance, it smells like a person with money. You know, it smells like a very high status kind of fragrance. So I would suggest if you own a yacht, a boat, whatever the case is, if you're the captain, then get Oligarch. This is a lovely fragrance and also lasts around 8 hours. This would be amazing in the summer months. It just has that slight unique touch that separates it from your typical fresh and clean kind of fragrances. So Oligarch. I'm also going to suggest, oh, hold on, real quick for the sweet fragrances, I have to throw in Intense Cafe if you're on a boat at nighttime, or if it's just winter for some reason and you're just out there. Intense Cafe is a sweet coffee rose fragrance. Yes, the coffee is a bit synthetic, but I honestly don't think, like, I don't mind that at all with this scent. And on top of that, the rose isn't an annoying type of rose where you're like, oh, that smells mature. I don't know if I want to like pull the trigger on that one. This is a very easy to like fragrance. A lot of compliments on this scent whenever I wear it. And this one is very unisex. I do see more women reach for it. Some guys think it might be a little bit more feminine than they'd like. But to be honest, whenever guys wear this, they get a shit ton of compliments. This is just that juice, you know what I mean? And coffee is a very addicting drink in general. So if you smell like coffee, it's going to be very addicting and people are going to want to keep smelling you over and over and over again. This fragrance has garnered me a lot of long hugs and a lot of, oh my God, you smell so good, and just like staying in the moment, you know? So Intense Cafe by Montal is a great one. And I would say, ooh, yes, Ylang in Gold by Micallef. This one is marketed as a feminine fragrance. Just check out how cool the juice is on this. And it reminds me of a tropical vacation and banana custard. Those two put together is Ylang in Gold. And it's just, it has some sweetness to it, but just that banana, like the banana that I smell in this, and then the sweetness from the custard just make it a really likable fragrance to me. I always compliment anybody that wears this when they're in my collection and they're like, okay, I'm gonna wear this one. I love the way Ylang in Gold smells. And it has really nice projection as well. I don't think the longevity pushes over 8 hours, but this is one of those fragrances that teeters the fresh, sweet line. You know, it's not really fresh, it's not really sweet, it's just something in between. So Ylang in Gold by Micallef. And if I can throw another freshie in here, it would, oh gosh, I have to, man. I love this fragrance. I love it. Gentle Fluidity Silver by MFK is a sharp, crisp, clean fragrance, unisex, and the scent trail on this is amazing. Like, I've worn this and I've left the room and somebody re-entered the room that I was in and they're like, something smells really good. And you can follow the scent trail and be like, oh my God, like that's what happened. My scent trail was followed from like somebody was, so I'm so sorry. I keep messing up. My mouth is talking faster than my brain is processing. But I was in a room and then I left that room and then somebody walked into the room I was in. They smelled this and they were like, where's that smell coming from? And someone's like, oh, it's Melissa. So then they followed me and they were like, oh my God, I love your fragrance. So Gentle Fluidity Silver by MFK. Give this one a shot at Nordstrom or Neiman Marcus. I don't think it's at Sephora. And if I can think of another freshie, this is solid. Hasselbot. It's going to last easily over a day. Yes, over a day, not 8 hours, a day. This thing does not leave my skin. It's like a fresh pineapple scent and it dries down with some oak moss, but the only The only people I've seen complain about this are guys that the oak moss kind of turns a little bit, to them, like they don't like how the oak moss develops on their skin. But in terms of reactions from everybody else that I've worn this around, they love it. Honestly, this is a huge compliment magnet. And this is one of those fragrances that you know when you buy it, you're going to have no problems with longevity or performance. So Hasselbot by Nishante is fantastic. And I believe that will round us off. Maybe I should give a freshie on this side, but to be honest, I liked the Sweet Designers. And I wore Ombre Nuit on the boat today, but it was very much for myself. It's not a scent that like anybody can really smell. So that's gonna wrap it up for fragrances to wear on a boat, whether you do it at nighttime and it's freezing cold, or if you're out there in the summertime with no shirt on. So I hope you have a great day. Everything is linked in the description, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.